Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while a choir goes, statements coming at ya, statements coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see your practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Yo, what it do? Spiritual counselor Sean Thomas Villafana here, president of Capuhuna, El Presidente, publisher, web designer, app designer, author, journalist, musician, rapper, film producer, ukulele player, humanitarian, all kinds of stuff, really. Yeah. I like to say that my resume speaks for itself. It speaks for you. It speaks for me. It speaks to me. It teaches me different words that I've never known before. It really does, really. I've got certifications and things that I didn't even know I could do, but I can. You know how? Yeah, okay, I gotta stop bragging. Yeah, that's horrible. Horrible. There's the thing about ego and pride, is that it can only really bother you to the level of your ego and pride, which is very funny of a thing, I always thought it was really strange how all of my spiritual mentors, they seemed to have so much ego and pride. And in fact, they enjoyed it, And then I realized after a long time that that's the whole point, is the enjoying life. Like, that doesn't mean that you're reactive. It's different from action and reaction. It just means that you don't mind it, And that's the whole difference between heaven and hell, isn't it? The only difference is the amount of acceptance and enjoyment. Really, that's all it comes down to, In fact, I doubt they could keep anybody in hell if there was such a place. And I'm sure there is, I doubt they could keep anybody there if they started to enjoy it, which is a little statistic. But it's kind of true, too, if you think about it. Because if that was a place to make a person suffer, well, this is a hard thing to accept. And we never accept it in the moment. But suffering is a choice. I got a little astral tune here for you. This was developed by Sheila Kennedy and sounds from Source. First time I heard it was about a year and a half ago. Here we go. Alright, that's good enough. Hopefully you're not deaf. I hope that didn't go too loud in your speakers. It used to calm me down. I don't know. My ex used to play it for me. I had encouraged her to get certified as a sound therapist through them. And you can check them out at www.soundsfromsource.com. That's soundsfromsource.com. And they're not paying me. They don't even know, I mean, they're just friends, and I think that's what a huge thing, I think that's a huge thing that's missing in society right now. Just generally helping each other, supporting each other. Right now we got advertisement, everything's paid advertisement, which became spam, which became, yikes, ads everywhere, billboards with funny pictures on them. It's all really ridiculous. This is a explicit show. So if you are here and you're not supposed to be, get the fuck on out of here. I am spiritual counselor Sean Thomas Villafana, and I am a thug-ass minister. Word up. I ain't no light worker, I'm a heavy worker. Got it? That means I came here with a lot of karma to fucking handle, and that don't mean it was my karma. No. I came here as a clean soul, just like a lot of us did. How do I know? Because I remember. I remember where I was. I remember the people I were around, the place I was at. I remember it being very different. I remember we did not have greed or fear, and we manifested everything at will. And I chose to come here, just like a lot of us did. Right. I remember coming down through the roof and seeing my mom pregnant with me. And yeah, anyways. I'm not the only one, too, It's funny because a long time ago I'd feel all shy of explaining this shit, but nah, after being around a lot of spiritual people, I'm really glad that I can just say my spiel. Of course, there's always going to be trolls and haters and this and that. It's balance, There's got to be, too, actually. You always got to have that, I mean, if anything, I would hope that it would be there. Because you got to have something to balance against the people that are just talking out of their ass, right? You got to have a debate. You got to have a thing that's going to say, hey, you know what? You can't just say whatever the fuck, Because, to be honest, there's a lot of people that are full of shit out there. Oh, yeah. That's nobody's fault, We don't know the dynamics that other people are in. We don't know the story. We don't know all the shit that's going on. So we can't really say every little bit, We don't know. So it's not fair. We can't assume another person's stance or intent. And that's a huge thing that I like to say, actually. Because if you think about it logically, to assume another person's intent is a very rude thing. Very rude thing. And it's a very stupid thing. It is. Because you do not know intent. Nobody knows intent but the person. So that is to say that you would risk punishing the innocent for your own ego. And isn't that why a lot of arguments start in the first place? Because we get hurt, because we assume another person's intent is evil. And what is evil, right? I like to say I don't believe in evil. I believe in the truth, the true self, and the true self-expression, which is unconditional love, and stupidity on the other side. That's what it comes down to. Let's not say stupidity, let's say obtuse. Obtuse is a lot nicer. But yeah, you need debate. I put one up earlier. I went, the risks of being proven wrong in a debate, bruised ego. The benefits of being proven wrong in a debate, you become wiser. And the risks of not debating out of fear of bruised ego, mass species extinction, like it's happening right now to many species, by the way. And, yeah, we like to give our excuses. You know, we like to give our excuses, but really, we're the ones responsible, if you remember that. The amount that we ignore it, or ignore any issue in society, is equal to the level of responsibility that we have not stepped up to claim. But at all moments, whether we step up or not, you realize that that is our responsibility. Because if all it takes is stepping up, then that means that the underlying virtue and power was already there. It's a very, very, very sobering thing to think, huh? Ain't that funny? Well, let's play a little music about that. By the way, if you didn't catch me before, this is an explicit show. Something is peculiar. Something is peculiar. Tell it a little bit simpler for me. Tell it like it's simple. Tell it like it's simple.
Lay down.
Just break it down. Tell it like it's simple. No. Come on, El Presidente.
Something like it's simple, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Tell it like it is the night you don't answer. Maybe flip and hustle. Hella Bonnie rebel. Flashing lights behind me, yeah. Anything but subtle. I'm truthful, dumb, and kicking ass. Karate kick, technically, go back with gun. Stylish as a motherfucker. Like Steven motherfucker. Riding like a lawyer, Rossi like I'm undercover. I'm El Presidente of Capu.
What? El Presidente?
I don't have to tell you nothing about the reason why I do it.
I'm El Presidente, bitch. That's Capahuna.
You know I've talked, but now I ain't gonna stop. Hey, turtle, the sky, don't let me fly. You should know I've talked, but I ain't gonna stop. Turtle, the sky, don't let me fly.
Pink turtle.
It said you and you age over one time. Turtle so fly, third eye blazes as fuck. But I can give a fuck. That's worldwide, getting contact high.
That's contact high.
Ironic? Yes. Humble? No. Hypey? Yes. Tell me when to go. I got hella man ego, and it's hella damn fun. I go higher than the go out shit when it's sun. I don't say yellow cause I incarnate a photo while she masturbating if I might see the photo. So I jump the border, but I don't help you. Make moon turtle, she hell is you.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? That's great. While she manifesturbating to my Facebook photos. That's a great one. You know, I think one of the most sweetest things that ever happened. No, not ever, but I mean, a really sweet thing that happened to me once. I was talking to a chick like 2 years ago, a long time ago. Cute, real cute chick, you know. And like we started to flirt and all, and she's like lived far away, you know how it goes. But I told her one time, I was like, you know, I would be honored if you were to manifesturbate, you get to my Facebook photos. And I said that, and she goes, but I already do. You know, and she was dead serious too. Like, you know, that was sweet. That was sweet, because, like, as a guy, I may be, like, a guy that was insecure for most of his life. Like, I never would have thought, you know? I never would have thought. And it's funny, because, of course, right, you know, women masturbate just like men do, right? They got toys that you carry around in your purses. Keychains and everything. Crazy. You know, so why wouldn't that happen? Of course, right? You know, as a famous magician, and I say that in the esoterical sense, someone said, everybody does magic. You might as well know what you're doing. And that was a dark dude. Supposedly. They say in our history books that he was a dark dude. Aleister Crowley. You know, that's what they say. To be honest, I don't take anything for face value. I don't, you know, because I know that the nature of humanity as it's been has been ironic, hypocritical projection. That's just a fact. It has been. We always specifically accuse somebody of our hypocrisy in an exact denial of our shames. You know, look at what happened to Jesus, right? You know, Jesus almost got people to feel ashamed, right? You know, they almost felt ashamed, but they straight up was in denial and projected that back onto him and claimed that he was egotistical because they were too egotistical to humble themselves and eat with the sinners and wash the feet of prostitutes and care for everybody as themselves, really, you know. They didn't want to give up their ways, and that's how it is. And you know, I want to say that there was a deep lesson in the Bible, and I don't give a fuck if it was a written comic book or if it was a cartoon. I don't give a fuck if it was a video game. Because the virtues are still true. When you can internalize, empathize, and understand a lesson, well, then it becomes yours. So it doesn't really matter so much about the instances, so much as what we can do with them if we internalize it. Because we can see clearly, Jesus taught a lot of very, very powerful stuff that a lot of people are ignoring. A lot of people are ignoring. It's just horrible, actually. It really is. I'm going to probably get a lot of flack for this. But somebody's got to fucking say it, you know. Somebody's got to fucking say it. A lot of people are in denial. A lot of Christians, Catholics, religious people on our side of the continent. I'm from Hawaii, but I'm talking about California over here. San Jose, bottom of the bay. And a lot of us, we like to think, oh, well, Jesus died for my sins, and that means that I can just go about my life as long as I carry this idea as that I have faith in it, and I don't have to read the Bible, or I don't got to do what he taught. It's not about what he taught or what he said or what was right there in everybody's face. No, it's just about carrying the name as a label. Oh yeah, and if other people hate me for it, then we can go to war and kill them. Right? Yeah, that's fucking hypocritical as fuck. So hypocritical, and it's not Christian. In fact, that's anti-Christian. I would say that would be the anti-Christ in the people that would be anti-Christian, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be. It would be. I want to say, you know, I mean, if it comes to that, then yeah, fucking, fuck it, I might as well say, is that, to go to war would be anti-Christian. Maybe in the whole Christian history as we have it written, but that was anti-Christian too. Jesus taught forgiveness. He taught that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. He taught eye for an eye, leaves the whole world blind. And he showed that it's easy to hate. It's easy to blame. It's hard. It's very, very hard. to forgive. It's very much harder to forgive in the moment when you're being persecuted. He was tortured. Did he blame? No. And you know what's funny? Not only is that a miracle, but that's a miracle that you and I can do. That's right. You see, it shows the difference between weakness and strength, because it would be weak of us to succumb to spite and hate and blame. That's weakness. We are weak when we do that. That is us being weak. And when we forgive, that is us being strong. When we take the hits for ego-wise or physically, or heck, even economically. When we take the hits and forgive, that's us being strong. Duh. Argue me there. Come on, argue me there. You know, I'd love it. I'd love to see it, because debate is important, right? You know, debate is important. In fact, we would only shy away from debate to protect our egos, which is ridiculous. And I think it's horrible that we have a lot of quote-unquote light workers who are afraid of debate. They don't want to face the negative feeling. And I'm like, it don't got to be negative feeling. But there's a lot of things that are kind of important that we should kind of look at and not ignore. You know? Right? I think so. Shoot. Any sense. Yeah, you know. That's how it is. That's how it goes. And it's a story told in ancient times again and again and again. And I'm always telling it, you know, but it seems like I'm getting better and better at saying my piece of the part. But, you know, when I have trouble, sometimes I like to do some music and write some raps. I know they can come out a little bit vulgar, but, you know, I kind of dig it. I know, you know, I mean, that might be bad vibes to some other people, but I guess you just don't know California at all, really, you know. 'Cause a lot of the things that you might think are bad or negative, well, actually over here, a lot of us really dig that shit, you know. You know, I mean, it's the same way that, like, you know, if you know any Ebonics, you know, it's just a different language, you know. You can't be all saying that one thing is a negative and label it as that and think that you're right. Because, you know, you go through time enough, you're going to find out that you're wrong. That's the thing about nature. Change. Odin, as I was saying earlier in a post on Instagram. By the way, follow me at Kapuhuna, Kapuhuna, Kapuhuna. I was talking about how the symbol for Libra is actually the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the Garden of Eden. As it's about balance. And the fruit would be that center. Same tree, Yggdrasil, that Odin hung from in order to gain perspective. Hung upside down from it. Which is the same as in the tarot card, the Hanged Man. Odin, or Woden. Now, there's been many other names, of course, you know. And which became Wednesday, the middle of the week, mind you. Also referenced to the same essence, it's the same god as Hermes, or Mercury, astrologically speaking. All three of them have to do with knowledge and wisdom, and just as so, it would make sense. Because the tree is the brain. Of course it is. The ancients used to talk about the beginning of the zodiac starting at the IC, or the nadir, or zenith, sorry. Or was it nadir? I always forget those terms. The bottom side of the earth, the opposite side of where you're at, because where you're standing is quote unquote the top part. That's how we measure it in a birth chart. That would be the top. The opposite side, that would be the IC. Well, that would be where we would put, just for the sake of imagination, Aries, 0 degree Aries. And that would be the very bottom. And excuse my ghetto accomplice over here selling his ice cream with a really, really, really bad ice cream music. It don't even sound sane. It don't sound good. If I was a little kid, I would probably run. It's really scratchy. I think he's got an actual record player. I think he's probably in a clown suit, but he's Mexican, so I doubt that. Well, you never know. You could have Mexican clowns or what? My bad. Ain't trying to be racist or clownist or none of that. Ice creamist. But yeah, I live in the ghetto. And I don't have a studio. Nope. Doing this off my phone with literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connecting cords with mic and audio and all kinds of stuff that I needed in order to work this thing. And it's so damn hot. I could not have the fan on while doing this. So you get to hear the lovely tunes of the ghetto, just like I do. It used to be worse, actually. Way worse. I think there's been 8 murders, something like that. 7 murders since I've lived here. Used to be a lot of gang stuff. It's not so bad anymore, but just like a week ago, I heard gunfire just out my window. That's fun. Living in the ghetto, like Too Short said. The ghetto. Dum, 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 dum. And it's kind of fun. I don't know. It's weird coming from Hawaii, right? It's like one place to like the exact opposite. I don't even speak like I used to anymore. But I can get back into it. You know, I just gotta be around the right people. In any sense, I don't know where I was going with that. Yoden, Woden, yada yada. The brain, right? This brain. The fruit, of course, would be the pineal gland, which, by the way, has optic nerves. I almost said optic fiber. Optic nerves, just like the eyeball does. Only the pineal gland's optic nerves face inward. Yada yada. Why are they facing inward? Because there's light inward. Yes, there literally is. As the pineal gland releases DMT, it causes a chemical reaction which emits photons. You see, the inside of the pineal gland is a bulb. It's got like liquid in there. And it's dark, you know, and hey, do I know why it does that? No, I do not. The inside of the brain likes to make little flashy lights and look at it. You know, the scientific reasoning, heck, I do not know. But it is really funny that, hey, you know, I mean, like, we actually have a third eyeball, literally. It is an eyeball, has optic nerves, and it does look within, and the light is within, which is really funny, you know. Sadly, though, yeah, I think it was like something like 80%, 90% of the population basically has a calcified pineal gland and cannot operate it, which sucks. How does that happen? That happens from fluoride, which is a neurotoxin The FDA has stated it as a neurotoxin and categorized it as a neurotoxin on their own website, and yet approved it for our toothpaste. People like to say, oh, but I want to brush my teeth. Motherfucker, that shit does not do good for your teeth. At all. At all. Get Tom's or something. Use baking soda. Fuck. You don't gotta kill your freaking insides. I mean, I'm hypocritical there, but I mean, you know, we don't gotta kill our insides just to do like other people do. There's other toothpaste. It's cheaper too. Fucking ridiculous. Dumbasses. Anyways, sorry, I don't mean to insult anybody, but you kind of gotta, you know, I mean, there's two levels to it. On the one hand, you got some people, they will not react good or change at all to insulting. They will not. You ever seen a vegan argue with a meat eater? The vegan does not win generally. Sometimes they do though. And sometimes it really does take that. Sometimes it takes the asshole. And sometimes it takes the guilt and shame. It really does. I like to just think that everything is needed and everything happens as it's supposed to. In this way, I can have faith in my life and I can have faith in the universe. I can bring my own level of blame a little bit lower volume every day. You know, it's tough being an Aries North Node and all. Aries being the challenger. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I remember that. Yeah, Aries being at the bottom of the physical representation, and Libra being at the top, which is not egotistical of me at all. Hey, you know, that's not my words. Like, that's just what they say. That's just how it is. Libra would be the brain. The tree is the brain. The fruit is the pineal. And the lie is duality. I don't believe in duality. I believe in irony. What does that mean? That means that I believe in Trinity. I probably said a bunch of shit that just blew your mind already, but let's top it off too. Why not? You know, if we look at Trinity, we look at the Bible. What is the first thing that God did? Right. He gave an expression of will. The I am. The I choose. A mage card. Out from the essence of the divine feminine, which would be the zero, which would be the vagina, actually. The mage card, always represented by a male figure holding his right arm up in a rod, high, in a statement of demand and command. Willpower. And God put that straight down and went blam. I separate the waters from above and the waters from below, and the middle ground is the firmament, and I shall name the firmament heaven. Same with the sea and the land and the sky. And God went straight through it all, separating it all. You know, that's what we blame of him anyways, in the irony of it. You see, we got to always kind of look at things backwards, in a sense. Don't we? I like to believe that it's not like how we think it is. In fact, it's only our ego that demands it is how we think it is. But since I don't see anybody fucking doing magical powers and flying around and busting kamehamehas and teleporting, I would say that they probably do not know any universal truths that would help me to consider them as awoken. I don't see Neo going around here. So I would say everybody's asleep. Nobody knows the full truth, and everybody's full of shit when they try to argue that they do. Unless, of course, they're speaking from a place of love and Or it could be suffering too, yeah. But that don't mean that they know the truth. It does mean that the truth is trying to be expressed from the heart, though, as we find it. Because isn't it so that as we're suffering, and as we strive, even if what we say comes out warped, even if what we do comes out wrong, the very fact that we're striving towards something through the pain, because of what the heart says within us, goes to show that there is love. Even when we make mistakes, there is love. That unconditional truth just got a little bit of conditions on it. That don't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means it's a little dirty. And that's pretty much how I came here. Shoot, that's been my whole life, really. Real grimy. Thuggish. And that said, let's listen to another one. Because I've said this so many times, but, you know, sometimes you gotta say it again.
The oldest story in the book, ancient. JK on the track. The oldest story in the tablets. Said it again. Scripture said, it's gonna be said again. Oldest story in the nobody was listening to all. Tell it like it's simple, yeah, it never really was. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's right. Big turtle in the sky. Look the moon look like a rave dance line. Get it how I live it. Get it how I live it. Said it just the way I meant it. Said it just the way I meant it. Elephant in the room said, bitch. Ask too many questions. Say it again. I get it how I live it. Said it just the way I meant it. Elephant in the room said, bitch. Ask too many questions. Ain't that funny? Yeah, LOL. Projection is a motherfucking thing. Did I mention it? Yeah, but this now. Prophesize, damn promise. It's crazy. Like a rage. Wow. The battle of projects in the 80s. I don't give a fuck. I ain't done shit. If I want to take a couple back, give me the box. It is like Grammy as fuck. You never have a system Grammy. Your whole history shot. Transcriptions of me old blazing spot. Right up top. That's right. Third eye. Right up top. Right up top. Climb up top. Very top. Climb all the way. Blood. Ashtray. Ashes. That's my spot. I tell you like this. Something like a simple when it never never. Something like a simple. Something like a simple. Something like a simple. It was simple. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like it is for night. You know I know what's up. Hustle. Alibi rebel. Flashing lights behind me, yeah. Anything but subtle, I'm chewing bubblegum. You can ask. Right, give me deadly with what ass. So she's a motherfucker, this right, he's a motherfucker. Damn, alright, OG, Egyptian motherfucker.
Egyptian motherfucker. I ain't even Egyptian. That's like one of the races that I'm not. Sadly. I mean, heck, who knows? Maybe. I don't know. You know, right? I got so much ethnicity in me. I am a ethnicity of genetics. And I like to say I'm just human, right? I think that's one power that I have. It's one superpower that I have. Is that I have the power to not be racist. I mean, sure, yeah, I could say racist shit. Which is bad, of course, because it can insult people. Right? You know? And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's very ridiculous. I mean, call it my enveloping of empathy towards the whole of humanity being the lack of empathy towards the more or less racist, basically. I mean, sure, okay, you can love who you want to love, and marry who you want to marry, and have kids with who you want to marry. But if your family line is just gonna like stick to your family line, like that's kind of, I mean, heck, love is love, but I mean, like that don't even seem like love anymore. That's just too much when it's like if you're black and all your generations have only had sex with and had babies with the same race, that's like, come on, or if you're white and you guys are just only sticking to white, like what's going on with that? Like I don't even know. Have some flavor in your life, Shoot, that's just the way I put it. I think that if everybody just kind of branched out a bit, you wouldn't have racism. It couldn't exist. Not if everybody is, mutt like me. And, that's the funny thing is that people think like, oh, excuse me, I'm saying people. Let's talk about specifics. You have the white supremacy, right? Who would say that, oh, their genetics are superior. Well, actually, the fact is that scientific evidence shows that when you mix genes, the offspring, in general, they have higher IQs, are taller, and better immunities. So, considering I'm taller than both of my parents, I've got a very high IQ, which I will not brag here, and I never get sick. Yeah, I would say I pretty much trump that. I mean, it's science, hey, So I mean, if you want to have superhuman kids, just branch out a bit, have some flavor. That's really what it comes down to. I think that everybody should just mix and interbreed because, I mean, like, look at the offspring. Like, I mean, when you have, like, interbreed, offspring, like, it's almost always, like, a really beautiful child, and a beautiful person when they grow up. And it's like, wow, Like, yeah, I'm not saying that about myself, but, I'm not going to be meek enough, or too meek to say that I'm not. I gotta practice that acceptance, self-love, right? Not to the point of being ugly in character, which I think a lot of people have gotten to. I mean, isn't that it? Isn't that true? People talk about self-love, all they really do is ego worship, self-love. But I would say that the ultimate expression of self-love is to love and accept all that is, because if you are connected with everything and are everything, then by default, as you meet the things in your exterior and, karmic life, and as you accept them with love, well, then you meet yourself to a deeper depth, and you love that part and accept that part to a deeper depth. And I would say, if there is a oneness, a thing that we could call God, and that being or point in space-time is connected to all, well, then it would be love, and it would be all accepting, right? Because you cannot deny and be a part of at the same time. So, given that, in order to reach that vibration, you would have to do as the same. It's what I believe. It makes sense to me, right? I mean, if you are a person that has less acceptance and more rejection and denial in your life, then that sounds a lot more like suffering and war. It just sounds like it, I mean, hey, I'm not you, whoever that person might be, and I'm just me, but just saying what it sounds like. And if you're a person that accepts all, patience, love, forgiveness, and understanding, then I'd say that sounds like heaven. That sounds like you're a holy person. Amen to that. Well, I'll cut this short. I don't know how long this one goes, but I've been popping in and out of my podcasts. I got 4, 5, I don't know. I got a bunch. And I just wanted to stop by and give some love. Aloha oi. Aloha means a lot of things. It means love. It means hello, goodbye. And it's also to share the breath of life. And to appreciate the sharing of the breath of life. Thank you for joining me. If you're listening in, this is Sean Thomas. Excuse me, I changed my title. Actually, legally, it's Spiritual Counselor Sean Thomas Bilafana. I'm a minister. I'm a CEO, COO, CMO, president. I am everything of Kapahuna, basically. Shoot. Publisher, app designer, web designer, yada yada. Publisher, everything. Yeah. Oh, I got a film out. A documentary, actually. Try to catch it. It's called True Emotions. And it's circling the web. You know, I submitted it to over 20 film festivals because I could. I didn't even know it was possible. And then I thought about it and I was like, is it possible? And yes, it is. For free. So, yeah. So I did it. And it got accepted to one so far. Pretty excited about that. Well, you know, go check it out. True Emotions. Much love. Aloha.